In history, few battles are as shocking as this one. It's a day when tactical genius annihilated overwhelming force. Imagine an army outnumbered nearly 2-to-1, facing the most dominant military power in the world. This is the story of how that smaller army didn't just win, but executed the perfect encirclement. By the end of this video, you will understand the 3 critical phases of this almost impossible victory. First, the audacious plan of the Carthaginian general. Second, the fatal arrogance of the Roman consuls. And third, the terrifying clockwork execution that turned a battlefield into a slaughterhouse. Our story begins in 216 BC on a dusty plain in southern Italy. The air was thick with tension. An invading army from Carthage had been ravaging the Italian countryside for 2 years, led by a brilliant commander. He had already inflicted 2 humiliating defeats on the Republic at the Trebia River and Lake Trasimene. Rome, enraged and determined, mobilized the largest army it had ever fielded, totaling 86,000 men. Their objective was simple and brutal: to crush the invader through sheer weight of numbers. The Roman consuls, leading this massive force, chose to fight on a narrow plain. One flank was protected by the Audacious River, the other by a line of hills. They believed this terrain would prevent the Carthaginians' superior cavalry from outflanking them. It was a fatal miscalculation. The Roman infantry was deployed in an incredibly deep formation, perhaps 70 ranks thick. Their plan was not subtle. It was a human battering ram designed to smash through the enemy's center. Across the field, the Carthaginian general watched them form up. His army was just 50,000 strong. He had only 40,000 infantry to face the 80,000 Roman and allied foot soldiers. But he had 10,000 experienced cavalry against the Romans' 6,000 and a daring plan. He placed his less reliable Gallic and Spanish infantry in the center, bulging them forward in a crescent. This formation was intentionally weak. He wanted it to break. He was baiting a trap. On the flanks, hidden from view, he positioned his best troops, the veteran Libyan infantry. The battle began. As predicted, the massive Roman center surged forward with immense force. They crashed into the thin line of Gauls and Spaniards, who fought fiercely but began to give way. This was the critical moment. The Roman legions, sensing victory, pushed deeper and deeper into the collapsing pocket. Their formation dissolved, becoming one giant, disorganized mass funneled into the trap. Meanwhile, a decisive action was happening on the wings. The Carthaginian heavy cavalry charged. Led by a skilled subordinate commander, they utterly shattered the Roman cavalry on the river flank. Then, with incredible discipline, they did not pursue. They regrouped and wheeled around the battlefield. On the other flank, the agile Numidian horsemen kept the allied cavalry occupied, preventing them from helping. Now, the first jaw of the trap slammed shut. The veteran Libyan infantry pivoted inwards. They attacked the exposed flanks of the disorganized Roman infantry, halting their advance completely. The Roman soldiers were now being attacked from 3 sides, packed so tightly they could barely fight. Then the second jaw of the trap closed. The Carthaginian heavy cavalry smashed into the Roman rear. The encirclement was complete. 80,000 men were trapped in a tightening ring of steel. What followed was not a battle, but a systematic annihilation that lasted for hours. The Romans, trapped and leaderless, had no room to maneuver and no hope of escape. By the end of the day, nearly 50,000 Roman and allied soldiers lay dead. One of their commanding consuls was killed, along with 80 senators who fought in the ranks. The victorious army suffered just under 6,000 casualties, a heavy price for a stunning victory. The Battle of Cannae became the benchmark for tactical perfection and a symbol of ultimate military disaster. It proved that superior numbers and brute force are no match for strategic brilliance and disciplined execution. The Carthaginian general had used his opponent's greatest strength, their massive numbers, as a weapon against them. It remains one of the most studied military engagements in history, a timeless lesson in the art of war. So, what other historical battles demonstrate this level of tactical genius? Let us know in the comments.